Hello and welcome to Tibet, USA. My name is Mark.
I'm Punsak.
And we're glad you're with us. How are you doing, Punsak?
Wonderful. It's Minnesota is slowly, starting the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the true, how should I say, Minnesota's trademark is winter, right? Loving it? Feeling cold?
Feeling cold.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here all my life. I wouldn't say I love it.
Oh.
I don't think I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But the older I get, I think the more I'm like, yeah, I could do California or Arizona. But, it does build in a kind of strength of, I don't want to say character, that's too strong, but it helps us be kind of tough, mentally tough, which is good. So
there's this, I forgot the name. Oh my goodness. Wen Hoffman or something. I don't know. He's a European guy. He, have you watched that YouTube video? He plunges in the cold, icy water and stays there for long.
No.
He was just trying to prove that, mind over matter thing.
Yeah.
So for him, Minnesota's weather doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I did try his, not his technique, but I was fascinated by what he was doing, and I tried doing it in a cold shower.
Ooh.
And it's really, really, really super cold, and I just tried, and then it worked. And he was more into the breath thing, the breath, controlling of the breath.
Yeah.
And I was, I know breath goes with the mind, but not that I'm trying to claim supernatural power, but it didn't affect me. I went into that where cold didn't affect me. And I didn't have a, what do you call that,
Hypothermia.
Hypothermia, I didn't have that. So I came out alive, I came out good, and I just glad that I was able to experiment that and came out healthy. And there is this thing that we talked about, the dimension that we can tap into, which is not much explored. The way the human evolution is going at this rate and this direction, we were too much into the direction of exploring outside. Exploration is more outwardly driven, that we didn't go too much inward journey. Exploration inward is not yet tapped into much.
Yeah.
So that was the cold thing, and I just wanted to try in a cold, Moor Lake or whatever lake.
Oh, geez, yeah.
But I don't want. This is what I'm doing. What I'm trying to prove. Then that's the ego comes in, right? But it's okay.
I'd like you to say at some point in your story, you just said, hey, I'm not trying to claim supernatural powers. I'd like you to say at some point, hey, I'm actually going to claim some supernatural powers here. Listen to this story. And then you tell me like a crazy story where you...
I got lots of crazy stories.
Do you?
Because
Let's
if
go.
I do, I have to know who I'm talking to and why I'm talking, the intent of why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. So it'll go, people will go crazy. But
I wanted to be a superhero. When people say, well, what did you want to be when you grew up? Like when you're little, right? And around here in Minnesota, me and my friends and the people I knew, we wanted to be like, policemen or firemen or, some just job, right? Excuse me. Well, I kind of wanted to be a superhero. I saw the Superman movie with Christopher Reeve in like 1982 or 83 or something. I was like 14 years old, and I came home from the movie and I dressed up in my best superhero costume, which was basically my pajamas with like underwear over my like bottoms, so I had like the Superman trunks, and I had some kind of makeshift cape. I'm running around the yard. Like I'm almost 15 years old doing this, and my buddy Joe, who went to the movie with me, was just looking, going, oh, dude, you're so embarrassing. It was my job to embarrass Joe. I didn't try, but that was just kind of our role. I saw Joe recently. Hey, shout out Joe. He's living in Monticello, Minnesota. So he's one of my oldest, dearest friends. We still get together for dinner every couple months and catch up. So
You want to be a superhero, huh?
I did.
There's still that is in you, huh?
I don't know, maybe.
Because you're creative, you're very talented. You wanted to express deep down. There's this that you wanted to, there's this superhero in you. I see that.
Well,
But by the way, you're doing a very excellent podcast co-host here. I see you very comfortable doing this. So that's what the purpose is.
Let's
that
go.
when I sit here with you, when we do this podcast, absolutely comfortable. No stress or nothing, but just natural, and you're doing good. I don't know. We're praising ourselves here. They should talking about superheroes.
Yes. Segue. I feel a segue coming on.
Segue coming on, huh?
A segue, yeah.
Segue coming on.
Bring us into it.
Mind over matter kind of thing, right?
Let's go.
So there's I don't know too much into what you're really interested in, but I was trying dream yoga. I was trying lucid dreaming, even though people know, those who knows, they know that lucid dreaming itself will not help to enlighten or free you from karma. We go back to the karma thing now. But you said Christopher something, so just it dawned on me. Christopher Nolan's movie.
Oh yeah.
The Inception. Movie.
Yes.
Yeah. In the
So
movie, they was controlling the Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, he was trying to get into someone's head, someone's mind, someone's dream to do that.
To plant a thought.
Even though that's not lucid dreaming. But coming back to the lucid dreaming, you comfortable going back to the same lucid dreaming?
Let's go, yeah.
So lucid dreaming, when you dream and you see that you're dreaming, in the dream you see that you're dreaming. You're in a sleep state. You're in a different part though. You're in a different dimension now. But in the sleep you have a dream, and in the dream you see that you're dreaming, right? Now they're talking about the superhero. The lucid dreaming came to me. I didn't go to the lucid dreaming last time I said, right? So sometimes in my dream I see, that my dream, and I'm dead in the dream. But I know I don't like that. I know I'm in the sleep. I know I'm dead, but I'm not dead. It's a dream. I see that it's a dream, but I couldn't move. So I'm sending my intention to my arms when I'm sleeping, when I'm in dreaming, I'm lying down. I'm trying to move. I couldn't move. And I was stuck in that phase of the dream for a while. I wanted to try. Why is this? But slowly, when you come out of the dreaming, and, like when you wake up in the morning, you come out of your dream, right? You wake up. Oh, like that, you wake up. But then that's not the goal for me. That's not the thing how I wanted to end it. I wanted to influence that dream, right? I was long time back, so this is the practice that I've been. So in my dream, I said, gosh, I'm not dead. It's dreaming. It's a dream. But I couldn't move my arms. I couldn't shake. Right? And then I got the trick, how to come out of it. Oh, I just said, oh yeah. Like in the waking state, I come back to the lucid dreaming where this is. In the waking state, I'm dreaming. Thoughts come up. Thoughts comes and goes, and finally it will subside. And then I have distanced myself from thought. Even if thought does appear, I have distanced myself from my thought. I'm not identified with my thoughts. I'm not the mind, right? Like that, in the dream, in lucid dreaming. I said, wow. And trust me, that in the dreaming, when I'm having a lucid dream and I'm dead in the dream and I couldn't move, it wasn't a good feeling. And not panicking, but it's not a good feeling. So I want to come out of it. I wanted to influence that. I wanted to come out of shaking it. I couldn't move my arm, even though I'm sending my thoughts, intention to move it. It's not the motor nerve, this sensory motor coordination is not working.
Yeah.
So anyway, when I was able to say, relax, and then just able to say, okay, that's just a dream. That's just a dream. And that's in my mind. It's played in my mind. So I went back to the meditative state in the dream, in the lucid dreaming, to be able to free myself. And I was able to move. So next day, the next week, next month, like there is a practice that I do. I have to do a lot of things which I covered in the previous episode. But like intentionally, I will say I'm going to sleep and I'm going to have a dream. I will have a lucid dreaming. So power of intention before going to sleep plays a major role. There are a lot of things that I will use, like the incense which I was talking about, before, that herbal incense that I will light up, burn that. It gives me the air, the peace. There's peace in the air, right? Mm-hmm. So all these different tools I used to get into the lucid dreaming, and in the lucid dreaming I was able to move it. Even though there was a very popular, very well-known lucid dreaming and dream yoga one. I one time heard him say that how he come out of it, how he influenced it. It was kind of interesting. He said that, but I have no comments on that. He said when he feels he's locked in the room in the dream, that he couldn't get out and he couldn't go forward. He does backwards to go back, and it's not hitting the door, so he could get out. And I questioned that. I kind of understood what he was saying. He was trying to uncover. He was trying to come out of the mind. It's a different one, but superhero thing is that, when you do that, when you come out of this kind of influence such power in the dream, that kind of exploration was not done. Mm-hmm. And that kind of we have to have. The evolution has to be driven towards these dream states, because more than the waking state, I think you can practice more meditation better in the dream state. Even though both are complementing each other, mm-hmm. If I have not done a good meditation during the waking state, I will not be able to have a lucid dreaming, mm-hmm. or good dreaming, dream yoga. If I couldn't do a good dreaming yoga thing, I couldn't do it complements each other. With that said,
you're opening the table for questions.
I see you, and when you ask those questions, I take those questions.
Get ready. Here we go. I'm going to wind up. Get a big one going. My brain wonders why to make the goal of controlling your dreams with lucid dreaming. Like, why can't you just let your dreams be what they are? And they're a separate thing from your waking life.
Why they are separate from the waking life, you said?
Well, why? Here's my question: is why would you seek to control your dreams with dream yoga, with acts of your own mind interfering or intercepting your dream state and controlling what happens in a dream? Why would you do that?
Do you really want to go there?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
that's my question.
See that on the table. What do you see? I light up that.
I see a candle.
right?
Yeah, beautiful. Which we're not supposed
was-
to have in here, but that's okay.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
nobody sees it.
Nobody
So
sees it.
this,
So it's not real.
When you came in this light, you turn on the light, it lighten up, and you could see it, right? The light illuminated.
Mm-hmm.
With the awareness that we have, the light of the awareness, you get what I'm trying to say? So there's different levels of awareness, they say, in Buddhism. So right now, in a mundane life, we're just living this life, get the food on the table, get a nice car, get a nice house, and then good family.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying that it's more than that. It's more than that. Actually, we are in a different partho state. Waking state is another another dimension, another level of awareness. And we only see with that limited awareness that I was telling you, that we are not receptive enough to that frequency to tap into more. We are only receptive to whatever we are capable of, right? So coming back to your dream, dreaming, same as waking state, are same. They were saying that it's the same phase, same intermediate state, same part though. It's not a location in space and time. It's a different. How should I put it? It's a different frequency domain of that light of the awareness. If you get what I'm trying to say is, so we are in a different domain. So you only tap into this level. So when you tap into the dream state, different domain, just like when we die, they say it's not over. Physical death is not the end of it. Mm-hmm. There's a different domain of awareness that you go into. So Buddhism is tackling this whole Maya thing, this karma thing, this samsara thing. Say we are all in illusion here. We want to come out of it. That's what the whole point of enlightenment is, to come out of it.
It's the matrix.
And if we are only say, hey man, just let this political party build the party, why you're competing with this Republican and Democratic, well, let's just leave this to do this thing, the evolution will take care of itself. Mm-hmm. We can live like that, but we can also hide in our frequency, hide in our awareness to tap into the zone that is not usually traveled. Mm-hmm. So even I don't think a lot of people likes to listen this kind of conversation on our podcast. It's like, where is
we'll find out. We'll find out.
That's what we're doing. What are we doing?
When
trying to add up some music.
Streams,
Someone try to sing song. Try to sing a mantra there, here, there, just to retain the audience. But anyway,
the human element.
Did I answer your question?
That's one answer. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying, let me say what I heard you say, and then you tell me if what I heard was what you were saying. How about that? The reason that you would encourage dream yoga, asserting yourself or your self's will or your mind's will into a dream scenario when you're actually dreaming would be to try to reach different heights of mental, spiritual awareness that we can't necessarily tap into in our waking state.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So are we not tapping into them in our dream states with or without knowing about it? Like Punsak going to bed, lucid dreaming, and shaping your dream as it's happening. Mark going to bed, dreaming, but not tapping into it. And then we both wake up. What's different about Punsak after he wakes up and Mark when he wakes up? I didn't control my dreams, you did. What does that look like tomorrow? Or is that a stupid? Are we going to edit this
really,
out?
Really, I like that. I like that. I'm afraid you want to go into that direction, but I don't want to be conditioned to answer the way I wanted to. Way normally people answer that.
Do you want to take a rain check? Should
yeah.
we go grab a cup of coffee? Rain check.
The thing with this one is that if you are doing everything perfect, doing good, intention is good, mind, body, and speech, everything is you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's not enough, they say, in my Buddhist tradition, because the Maya, the karma is so thick that you will not be able to liberate easily in one lifetime. So you have to be born many lifetimes to come out of it. So we have to use different tools and techniques to. I wanted to say this, but I'm careful not to say straight up. But I feel you're missing a lot by not tapping into the dream state. Because last time when I touched on this length of lifespan that we live, if we live 100 years, like I was multiplying 8 into 8 to 16, 8 to 16, 8 is 24. 24 out of 24 hours we sleep 8 hours. I was using 1/3 of the sleeping in the sleep state. If you live 100 years, you only live 75 because 25 you literally slept, right? And then that sleep in ignorance, which you didn't tap. So
Sure.
hey, when
I can see that.
Yeah, people are studying in the nighttime, burning the midnight lamp. They were studying and they gained something, right? So like that, in a dream state, I'm practicing something. Let's find out. When we leave this earth, when we leave this physical body, we both will find out. Maybe my transition will be different than your transition because I have seen in my dream state that I'm not the body. I've seen in my dream state that I'm not the mind. I've seen in my, you get what I'm trying to say? I'm in a different, we call it namshe, the continuity, the continues from one life to another life. Like the candle, the lamp that I'm lighting up to another lamp, even though with that lamp, that light, that flame I used to light up another candle, what is this transmitted? Right? See that? Like that I'm here, Punsak, tomorrow when I leave this planet, I will be reborn, right? That's what I like to believe. So this continuity is there. We talked about continuity. And I was trying hard to explain in English. I was saying consciousness, I was saying awareness. And I was saying this wave-like, this light, that the wave nature of
so
this
we're getting
light.
into reincarnation
So this light,
a little bit too.
the light, this light of awareness, this weser, which is, the light is very pure, pristine, unborn, untouched, primordial, that light that continues, right? But we add those fabrications as we, I was trying to tell you, education, adding up different cultures, social conditioning, all such, and that becomes our karma. So why we have to practice dream yoga? It's not mandatory, but it's just that I felt that it's good. Not every day I go into lucid dreaming, please. There are days that I intentionally do some crazy things that I just wanted to. I think of some person that I really want to think about. It's like I'm doing an X-ray of that person in my dream. So I feel the inside out of that person.
You better not be doing me ever.
So and then it helps me. And there are days that I go in a dream where it's like a premonition type that I see it and it's unfolding the same the next day, but I watch it. And when we when I do that, I used to do that a lot back in the days when I was in Nepal, Kathmandu.
Mm-hmm.
I was living by a stupa called Swayambhu Stupa, very powerful stupa.
What's a stupa?
Stupa is a pagoda shape, a kind of
A temple?
Temple, kind of.
Okay.
So the vibration is different, and I felt that what you say superhero thing. I felt I've seen things that I cannot talk about here, right? You go into that realm of non-physical thing, and you feel it, you tap into that, and then when you are in that kind of a heightened kind of a vibration, in that kind of state, Mark, you interact with a different level. Some other beings will come and interact with you as well, because they know that they needed to. Anyway, so let's not confuse the audience here. So it's one of those.
It's too late for that.
Too late for that.
We've confused them already, and
So-
half of them are confused, and half of them are riding the wave with you.
So my dream yoga practice, I have to give credit to the dream yoga. I don't know how I got into the dream yoga. Dream yoga is just a very broad topic encompassing all of that, but people will not. The real practitioner will not say dream yoga. When they say dream yoga, they're talking about higher level of practice. Lack of the better word, in English, I'm using the dream yoga. Even when I'm saying lucid dreaming, people will confuse with another dream, which is called clear light dreaming, which is way high topic here in this podcast. When I'm talking about lucid dreaming, there are different clarity of dreams. So I'm in that level of dream. It's not the samsaric dream, which I'm talking about, ego and superego kind of dream. It's a higher level here, but the clear light dreaming is where you're dreaming, and in this dream, it's non-dual. There's no you and me, and you see the dream. That the unity is there, kind of, and that kind of clear light there. And there is in deep down, they will say you are light. You're light. That light, in the sense, you see what I'm saying? You're light, so that not light as a weight light.
Yeah, but
That illuminates.
an illuminated.
And that diminish as we add this anger, greed, all of that. So it diminishes the luminosity of that brightness, that light. If that makes sense. So the awareness, actually, you're aware. Shepa means cognize in Tibetan, right? You cognize. So you see it. So the shepa goes. It's difficult for me to come up with the exact word in English. And I'm thinking about these Tibetan words. It's very rich. I could
Overwhelmed me very quickly. For those of you just finding us, tuning in, we are Tibet, USA. My name is Mark. Across from me is Punsak Dundup, and we are meeting together in a beautiful library space in Fridley, Minnesota, conducting our 8th podcast together, called Tibet, USA. Two dudes talking Dharma, dreams, and donuts.
Cool.
And we're getting into the dream part, which is nice. How do you think dream yoga, Punsak, compares or measures or purposes or kind of feels compared to the Jungian, Carl Jung, his explanation or understanding of dreams, in which are wide. His breadth of why we dream is not just one thing, but if I get Jung properly, a lot of it was a process that our brains needed to kind of sift out our thoughts and our feelings, and it was sort of like an organizing kind of procedure so that we could dream, we could live our life, and all of the subconscious things that we have would get dealt with or categorized or sort of managed in our dreams somehow. So then when we came back to waking, hopefully we had a clearer path or less obstacles that our subconscious was throwing in our way. Is that like anything you understood Jung's ideas of dreaming to be, or did I just make that up on the spot?
No, I don't like to compare like that to such and such and such and such, because
Fair.
it's you already know that it's not fair, and it's my subjective experience. But having said that, C.V. Carl Gustav Jung, I have great respect for him. But he actually originally came from a student of Sigmund Freud, and it came from psychodynamics, id, ego, and superego. When I said C.V. Jung, Carl Gustav Jung, and Sigmund Freud, they are in very kindergarten stage. It doesn't mean small thing. It's just they're just at the foundational level. That's what I meant. And they didn't tap into the deeper dimensions. It's not that they didn't. I didn't know that they didn't tap into, but they didn't come out with books and those ones, because it will not be pure science, and they will be evicted from the science stream, right? Science, whatever, So the domain that they're, so it has to be proven. And how can you say that? Although C.V. Jung tried, and he came into this Tibetan Book of the Dead, Tibetan Book of the Living and Dying. He experimented that. He came to India. He traveled extensively. He studied that. So he kind of got that.
Okay.
He kind of got that. But I want to say this, that to be in that dimension that I touched atop. If you're ready, I have to be careful who is listening and the audience here. The subject-object thing in Western science, when I'm talking about the dimension that I'm talking about, I'm talking about transcending all that. You see what I'm saying? So there's no you. You'll see that's where we're going into. And Western science is more like, hey, okay, there's this experimenter. There's the experiment, and there's the process of experimenting. There is the objects in experiment. See that? You're in the third person level. And then you have to produce that. Now you have to cross all these science protocols to jump into this unknown thing. Let's all jump in here, and then we'll see it. Oh yeah, there it is, right? That kind of thing. Who will do that? Who will venture into that? If you get what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
So now you're comparing these two, and they're doing good. They're doing good. The car is doing really good. The motorcycle is doing really good. Bicycle is doing good. Walking is good too. So you take a pick.
Yeah.
Or Delta Airline is doing good. Or Elon. So anyway, I just don't want to confuse you. Can I piggyback on something?
Please.
Last time when we said something about the poem about that I just was saying that we have, this life is too short, and this life, that human life, in my understanding, is very rare and very precious. And once we leave this planet, I don't know. If you believe in rebirth, then you'll come back. But I was saying that we're working hard, and what we're working hard for, a lot of that. So there was a poem that I touched on. I wanted to complete that. This poem from Rabindranath Tagore. He's one of my favorite poet. I like to read his poem. He said, "I've spent many days stringing and unstringing my instrument. I've spent many days stringing and unstringing my instrument, while the song I came to sing remains unsung." That's the point. So this precious human life that we are gifted to, if we don't utilize the full potential of that, we're preparing something, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything, and we leave this earth.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get to.
That's
this.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. But I have to be careful in these deep topics that I touched, and I try to share it like that. Usually, we don't share it like that in my culture, because they will say that the vessel has to be ripe in order for me to deliver that, share that, and then if it is not ripe, and if I give these deep topics or deep dimensions that I touched on, and it's going to cause more confusion, and I'm paying for that karma. Is it interesting? So I feel like.
Could you read that poem again for us, Punsak?
It's from Rabindranath Tagore. I have spent many days stringing and unstringing my instrument, while the song I came to sing remains unsung. You like the poem?
Oh, it's beautiful. It makes me think of a line from one of John Lennon's songs that he wrote a year before he died in 1980, and the song is called "Beautiful Boy." It's about his son, Sean, and he's kind of giving this just life advice to his son in this song, who at the time was like 5 years old or something. And one of the lines says, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
I've heard that.
Yeah, and it's very much along those lines.
Yeah.
Like we can plan, and we can get things lined up, and we can get ready to go, and we can restring our instruments so it sounds really good, and we can check the mics, make sure the mic is working. Hey, is this thing on? And then it's done.
Yeah.
And did we do it? Did we say what we wanted to say? Did we live in the moment and express love? Did we express all of the things that are so full of our human experience here? Anger, joy, wonder, frustration. I think they're all in there. And growing up in Minnesota, it wasn't really part of my cultural dictionary to express like half of those things. You know, it's kind of okay to express the good stuff. But like when things got hard and there was anger or disappointment or frustration, we didn't really have a very good language for that. Like in my, family or even sort of culturally, it was kind of not. So going off of your poet and the lyric from the song, life is what happens when we're busy making other plans. That's kind of something I want to do. I'm not like a New Year's resolution person. I don't care about that stuff. But in my head and in my heart, I know I have things like that I want to try to address or be better at. And living in the moment and being here right now, and not just stringing my guitar and having it ready to go, but being able to burst into song.
Yeah, life, while planning is important, planning about future, planning what are you going to do in future, but we have to be, also, it's crucial to be in the present moment, because then if you don't, then you'll miss out on that. And I had I envisioned my life something else, and something else came out and I have to learn to accept the acceptance of change, accept the uncertainty of life is very important.
The only constant is change.
And you know, yeah. In life, you're fortunate that you're gifted with a good family, good good kids and such, right? But I see that, and when I came in your house, I saw your even
my cat Henry.
Artie and
Artie and Henry.
Yeah, I what I'm trying to get to is that that sometimes even life goes the other way around. There's also something to learn. Mm-hmm. So we shouldn't just because life took a different turn, we shouldn't be get sucked into or stuck in that. Oh man, I want that one. Why did I have that? I want that. You just be open and. There's another one. The guy, poet called Kabir. He's from India. I like his poem a lot, and his poems are very deep and spiritual. And he will not. In India, Hindus and Muslims and Sufis, he's more like a Sufi mystic guy. They actually shun him. They actually protested him for saying the things that he said because. But I know he's very enlightened being, and he said something about what is found now is what is found then. It was a good poem by him. He has a lot of poems, like a Rumi from, have you heard of Rumi? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like Kabir too. So I like reading poems. Mm-hmm. I like, heavy stuff. So what else, what he meant by that is that when you live this life here and do the things that you want to do, and you do the things that you did, right? You have a karma and you pay for that. So when you die, you'll pay for that. It's more like that. Mm. It's not, you're prepared and you're really good, and then you will see good. Like you're going to heaven kind of thing. His style of writing poem is different. He will not write in a Christian style. He will not write in a Buddhist style. He will not write in a Hindu style. So he will twist that. And then Hindus will say, "Oh no, I thought you were Hindu, and then now you're doing this." And the Muslim will say, "Oh, I thought the more I listened to you, I thought you were Muslim, but you're not Muslim, right?" Mm-hmm. So they will kick him out, or
no one wants to take him. Huh?
When he died, I think some fanatics claimed that they killed him, but even though I don't know, it's mystery that how he was born. It's mystery that how he died. So. There's another great scholar named Jetu Krishnamurti. Have you heard of him? No. Krishnamurti. He was once he was giving a teaching and not preaching, and he was teaching. He's South India back in the 1970s, and people listen to him because it's very liberating. His conversation, his talks are very thought-provoking, enlightening. And he was actually raised and educated and nurtured, should I say, by Anna Besant. Have you Theosophical Society? Anna Besant. Have you known? It's gonna take a long twist now. So they really wanted to groom him to be the Messiah of the future, like in Buddhism we call it Gyawa Chamba. He's the future Buddha coming. In Christianity, Jesus Christ coming, right? Kind of that. So they really want to groom him. Oh, I'm not doing it justice to Anna Besant by saying this. So anyway, Krishnamurti was he was groomed and he was educated. He was taught. Now he's gonna be the world's #1 leader. That's what the plan was. And then he said he realized this thing in the enlightening world, whatever he got that, and he said, okay, let's stop here.
Huh.
I'm not the God. And then previously, a lot of Christians were listening to him. A lot of Hindus were listening to him because he will talk in a way Hindus can relate.
Mm-hmm.
He will talk in a way the Christians can relate. He can talk in a way anyone can come to his talk and they will feel like, oh my goodness, wow. And one of the fanatics asked. It is said that one of the fanatics asked him that question. He said, "The more Jyoti Krishnamurti, the more I listen to you, I thought you're atheist now. The more I listen to you, you're atheist." And then he said, I was atheist until I realized I was God, kind of thing.
Whoa.
So that, you see now, when we say these words, he actually gave a breakdown of the God. When we say God, you have a different concept of God, right? So everybody has a different concept of God. So he actually broke it down, explained it in a different way. So he was saying, I was trying to explain to you in the previous podcast that we are our own creator, karma, kind of thing. So anyway, Krishnamurti is one of those I listen to.
John Lennon got in trouble for saying that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus, likening them to kind of gods. Yeah, he got ripped apart for saying that.
So
you can see my spiritual depth goes as far as popular music. John Lennon and the Beatles. Although John Lennon was tapping into a whole bunch of really interesting stuff towards the middle end of his life.
He was into these Hindu...
The Krishnas for a little while, I think. George took that over from him, and I think was doing that for a lot longer than John did.
Yeah.
But self-destructive behavior, and then finally he was finding peace and balance and love right towards the end of his life. I went to see the spot where he was shot in New York City about 6 months ago. Freya and I were traveling there, my wife Freya. We were traveling and went to New York to see a special presentation in a church there by Philippe Petit, the French tightrope walker who walked across the Twin Towers in 1974. And while we were there, we took a day and went to the Dakota, which is a hotel apartment building right on Central Park, where John Lennon was killed. And I wasn't expecting to be moved by being there, because I'm not really super sentimental. But there was something very moving about standing in the spot where his light was put out. And I think he was kind of a remarkable thinker and feeler and a teacher in a lot of ways to a whole lot of people. And to me, certainly as a creative and as a writer and as a thinker and a feeler, he was very bold in what he, in John Lennon was, in what he, the avenues he decided to walk down very publicly, as far as philosophy and religion and his anti-war stance with his wife Yoko. So anyway, that's my little bird walk to John Lennon.
Perfect.
God bless you, John.
Last time when we talked about 7 Years in Tibet by Brad Pitt, I was, you good? I liked the movie back in the days, but I still, something didn't fit in, because when he's walking in the midst of these Tibetans in the movie, I was thinking like, we couldn't find a Tibetan actor there. Western person has to act. You became emotional with John Lennon. I am sorry. You have a deep karma with John Lennon, huh?
I don't know. I think a lot of people do, but it's cliche, so I say I don't.
So, emotions, human emotions, huh?
Yeah. I think it's a messy time for emotions. In my life, and maybe in a lot of people's lives, I don't know. Maybe in your life too, Punsak.
Dear listeners, my good friend Mark, I see tears rolling down his cheeks, streaming down his cheeks. John. The dogs and the cats, they are emotional. They can tap into your emotion right away at home. When you are emotional at home, your dog, Artie, can...
I don't know about Artie so much. Henry, our cat, I think does very, very much. He's kind of a healing cat. We had a cat named Ginger for a couple of years before Henry. And she was kind of a wild cat. Wasn't super friendly. She was friendly to us, family, but wasn't very friendly to people coming in our house. And she always wanted to go outside. She just wanted to be outside so bad all the time. Mm-hmm. And we tried to keep her in, and we couldn't. Mm-hmm. And one day she got out, and I think she was gone for like a night. Mm-hmm. And she came back, and she was acting really weird. And we found she had a pretty good like gash on her underside, on her belly. And we took her to get fixed at the vet to see if they could help, and they did, but they missed part of it. So she ended up getting an infection and dying. This just horrible death, where she was. It was tough for my kids and us, because we loved her.
How long the cat was there with you?
Before the like 3
years,
3 or 4.
And then when before the final day, she went out and had that.
Yeah, she had an infection, and it had gone out of control by the time the vet caught it, and so she died. In about 24 hours. She was laying down on the floor, and she was sort of actively passing. In healthcare. When someone is sort of actively dying, we say they're actively passing. And she started kind of twitching her legs like she was running in her dream, like her dying dream. And my daughter Lulu drew this beautiful picture, just a pencil drawing of Ginger in her dying dream state, running. And in Ginger's imagination, in this drawing, Lulu drew her running in this field, chasing birds and being free. And then she passed. And it was about a year or so until we got Henry. We weren't sure if we wanted another cat, because they're a lot of work, and also it's just so painful. And we got Henry from a rescue. He was abandoned. And we got this little tiny cat, Henry, and he came in and just loved the crap out of us. He was so loving and so warm and so playful. He just like healed us to this day. And this was probably, he's 3 years old now, so this is like 3 years ago.
Have you heard of therapy cat?
Therapy dogs.
See?
Not too many therapy cats.
So what I'm trying to get to is, I know cats have very acute sense of, sense.
Henry does. He knows when we are feeling harsh, when we need love.
So
to answer your question, our cat does. And I think he does because he came in.
I know your family listens to this podcast. So, but since you started, I can tell by looking at the animals they have in the family, I can pretty much tell the vibration in the house. I can tell the about the owner from the from the dog. Even though my dog, not my dog, but the dog, Artie.
Yeah.
Henry is more relaxed, but Artie has a lot of pent up. He didn't get to express much. It seems like he's not. I'm not agreeing with you. Do what the things that you did, but it's okay. I just kind of thing. In that first time when I saw him, in that 4 seconds, I looked in his eyes. He looked at me. We both knew each other. We connected. Boom. So I felt Henry more than the physical, thing.
Yeah.
I just felt. And then the third time when I came, I see Artie.
Yeah.
And he kind of know, yeah.
She
kind of know that. So I don't want to claim something, but
here we go. Claiming superhero.
I had a dog, a German Shepherd.
Okay.
And we were so connected, and very, very, very intuitive. He knows how I feel right away. And when he died, I wasn't there with him, and it communicated. The time he died, how he died, I was in a different place. It came, and I just asked. Same with my dad. I was in Nepal, and my dad was in India, and I was traveling in a bus around 8:20 p.m. in the night, and I looked it up through the window, looked the sky, and the moon is there, and then I looked at the time, because I heard in that the last breath my dad took. So when I got to the hospital and asked what time he died, the exact timing was there. Timing was exact. So, I'm not trying to be supernatural, but animals are very.
Yeah.
So I think your cat is very. I know, your creativity is very much enhanced by the cat too. I don't know. I don't want to get into the woo-woo stuff, but sometimes animals, the collective energy of the place or the location or the space, the animals take it, and so in that collective karma, the vibration, the animals take it. Oh my goodness, where are we going now with this kind of conversation here?
Well, us talking at each other in a podcast is kind of different than anything else. Like, it's a little isolating. Like, we're kind of talking about things that are interesting to us right now. We know a little bit about our audience, but really we're just still trying to feel out, like, what's going to fly, what's not going to fly, what's interesting in conversation, what's not interesting. So I find, like, getting a vibe sometimes is tricky, because it's me and you, and we're trying to create something, or we're trying to, I feel like we're experimenting a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's not like you're on the mountaintop with people who are thinking the same as you, and I'm not in a music studio jamming on ideas with other musicians. But in a way, we're both kind of jamming. We're jamming on ideas. You've come to this table in front of this mic with your world of experience that you didn't foresee, really, and here it is, and now you're living it and embracing it and talking about it, and same with me. So it's just to say that this is kind of like a cocoon, and we don't always know when we open our mouths what's going to connect with each other across the table, and then maybe the listener too.
Beautiful.
I don't know.
Beautiful. I would love to do this podcast till we are in the senior homes. When we say, Punsak, say that again. I didn't hear you properly.
Hey, Shani.
Say, I can't see you. Are you
Hey,
there?
Shani.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But
Love it.
Tibet, USA.
Tibet, USA.
Go ahead. The name Tibet, USA.
Yeah.
The reason why we gave, we know why we gave the reason. The name Tibet, USA. The purpose. But there's this
Say it.
sad thing that going on, that the name Tibet is the Tibet, so-called Tibet, is slowly wiped out. In Tibet, if you say to the Chinese Tibet, they will not know. Oh, Xinjiang, you're talking about Xinjiang. Oh, you talk to somebody in Hong Kong, you talk about Tibet. Oh, some educated one will know Tibet, but other will say, oh, you're talking about Xinjiang. You talk to some from Taiwan, Singapore. So, oh, you're talking about Xinjiang. You're talking about, oh, that's called Tibet. So China completely wiped out the name Tibet. Now they no more say Tibet itself, Xinjiang. So they want to, that's the political plot, is to completely wipe out. But we're going to keep Tibet USA the name for the longest time.
We are going to stick with Tibet USA. Absolutely. Because we're creating a new place called Tibet USA. A new a metaphysical geographical location where we're creating the culture, we're creating the laws in a way and we're creating this place, this new place, this perfect place that exists when you and me get together, when we sit down and we talk. We can talk about anything we want to. And I don't like being bullied. And maybe that will happen eventually with our Tibet USA podcast, where forces outside of our jurisdiction or control will step in and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'm committed to creating this new place called Tibet USA. Yeah. I don't even know half of it yet. I'm just happy to be putting a flag down there with Punsak over here. Thank you for taking the time with me to endure my, I'll say ignorance, lack of understanding of so much of what you're talking about. I appreciate your patience.
Amen.
And throwing these pearls to me. And likewise the questions you ask of me to help me reframe my experience. So
yeah,
it's
thank
been
you.
Good.
That's Mark's humility.
It's great, isn't it?
But
you like my humility?
You are more than Mark is more than what I see here. I know his the things that I share with him. My number of years of experience in my esoteric, how should I say, different Buddhist practices, and then I just throw it here on this table, and Mark will pick up. Oh, so conceptually he got it. So now that has
I'm getting there.
Imprint
I'm getting there.
will take in there. I mean, take one, So it's good, Mark.
Yeah.
I like the fact that that we're doing this, and good karma here, and the intention is pure. And I don't know what I'm saying. But Mark became emotional, so that changed the vibration a little bit. You had tears.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. That's our man, John Lennon there. He always makes me cry.
Oh my
Jerk.
goodness, John Lennon. So did he read the Tibetan Book of the Dead? I'm sure he read more than that.
I think he read more than
Yeah,
that.
and because he was into that. So
was into a lot of that,
transcendental
yeah.
meditation is what it was deep. He was into that.
Yeah, he studied with-
Maharishi was
Yeah.
the time that he was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Well, he experimented, he tried, he explored. Amen to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not confined in certain religion or certain dogma or certain thing. He's a creative person. To me, he's a very, very blessed soul. I like John Lennon. Now, when I said I like John Lennon, doesn't mean I know a lot about John Lennon. So
I'll take it.
I have
I'll take you
some
there.
songs that I used to love songs like you. I love Beatles back in the days. Hey, there's this one commonality between you and me.
Yeah. We're both super good looking. Okay, so maybe not.
The songs, the music,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all of that. You didn't get to show your true talents here in this podcast, and you just touched the tip of the iceberg here. So your voice, in the skills that you have in instruments that you play. When do we get to see that? Those? Not in this podcast.
I guess not today. I didn't bring anything. I got my voice. I should instead of stringing my guitar over and over again, I should sing, huh?
Yeah, guitar is good.
Yeah.
This podcast, Tibet USA, will evolve. Eventually, it will evolve. Right now, we have no hashtags, and we just plain Tibet USA, episode 1, episode 2, and we thank all the listeners for listening. But we didn't try too much to attract audience, and we're not into that yet at this point. We do appreciate taking the time to listen to the podcast, but we're more focused on being authentic, being real, just doing this what we do. I love doing it, sharing, right?
Yeah.
But it will evolve. One day we will invite guests, so those who are listening are there. If you have anybody who you think is going to be a good guest, we have plans to invite guests on this podcast. This will evolve and this will expand, and this one day we'll have a video of it. Like you said, we both are super good looking. We'll find out cameras turn on. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And right now, today, I try to shoot some photos here with this camera, but it didn't work. So I just left it there.
Good.
So logistical problem here. The intention is there.
Yes.
So life is a different plan, and it'll. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, plans will change. We'll accept the uncertainty. We'll go with the flow.
Yeah. Life is what happens when we're busy making other plans. So, with that, let's say goodbye to our friends.
Sure. Do you want me to add a song in here at the end?
I'd love it. Thank you.
Because you became emotional, and when we talked about life and talked about plans, what we thought about, what would happen. So it's a Nepali song. It's not same as emotional as John Lennon's thing that you're saying, but I just wanted to get into that frequency of sometimes in life beautiful things happen. Sometimes in life life takes an unexpected turn, and the song revolves around that. So anyway, it's a Nepali song. I just on the go. I just remember the song. कि सोची थी जिंदगी मां के भयो आज के सोचे थे जिन्दगीमा के भयो आज माया प्रेमले सस्तो टार्यो करणीको पार हो माया प्रेमले सस्तो टार्यो करणीको पार धोका दियो जिउँदै मर्यो बाँकी के रह्यो र धोका दियो जिउँदै मर्यो बाँकी के रह्यो र के सोचे थिए जिन्दगीमा के भयो आज.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time on Tibet USA.
Thank you.